Hi, this is Nikki with Scrappy Squirrel. I have a fun, quick holiday project for you today. I wanted to show you how to make these really cute little Easter pockets. So I've seen similar things out on Instagram and Facebook, people making different things, big ones, huge ones, all these complicated ones, and I thought, I want something just simple and easy. Now, this isn't going to replace all my Easter eggs that I have. This is just something that's kind of like a bonus little project. They're fun to make because they're flat, so you can mail them inside of an Easter card, like maybe mail something to a grandkid or a niece or nephew or adult child. Or you could use them in the Easter basket and put a few in there with neat things inside of them. You could put them in the grass if you wanted to, along with plastic eggs. I save my plastic eggs and use them year to year. But I saw these and just thought this would be kind of fun. My kids are getting older, and so this would be neat for them. But like I also said, it'd be great to send to my granddaughter or my grandson so they can have these great things too. So all they are is simple little pockets that I made to hold a gift card. They could hold cash. You could put earrings in them. Matchbox cars would fit really well in them. Other things to put in them. I had myself a little list earlier and I didn't write it down. But you get the idea. You could put all different kinds of things inside of these. Small mini candy bars would be in here, a pack of bubble gum, you know, lots of fun little things. So the rough size of these is 3.5 inches by 5. So I designed it that way so if you had leftover charm squares hanging around, it'd be the perfect size for that. So I just drew an egg shape, okay? And like I said, my piece is about 3.5 by 5, just ish, okay? I just drew myself an egg shape. I drew it on freezer paper, okay? That way I can iron it onto my project, cut around it, peel it off, and iron it on again. You can use this about 20 to 25 times before it starts to lose its tackiness. So it's perfect for this because I'm not making very many. I think I got enough supplies here for about 7 of these. So it's not a lot, just a few that I wanted to play with. So this little pocket right here, you're going to need 2 scraps. So you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric. They're quilted. Now what it is I know a lot of you who have sewn with me and made bags with me, you've got pre-quilted fabric hanging around. I pre-quilt chunks of fabric all the time to make things, to make all the different bags. I throw it on the long arm. So some of mine have Bosal or Annie Soft and Stable in between them or Flex Foam. Some of mine just have batting in between them. I have lots of pieces that's hanging around, lots of scraps. This is a scrap from a really cool duffel bag. You may have seen my review over on YouTube I did on this really neat patchwork duffel. And this is a scrap from when I made that. So I was like, well, that's perfect for today. So you can take 2 5-inch squares, put some fusible fleece or Bosal inner foam in between them. Just do a little stitching on them. You don't even really have to do stitching because we are going to hold everything together with stitching. So it's up to you how you want to do that. But like I said, I'm just using some pre-quilted fabric. I have a piece here. It's got mushrooms on one side and coffee on the other side. This piece has from Sassafras Lane, one of their fabrics from Wyndham. It has all different things on here. And the back is just a gray Queen Anne's lace. So it's just random stuff is what I'm using for this one. Okay? So you're going to draw yourself an egg shape on a piece of freezer paper, 5 inches tall by 3.5 inches wide-ish. You want it a little smaller than that, just a smidge, okay? Then for the pocket piece right here, the piece that you want right here for the bottom, the main pocket piece you're going to see, you want this piece to be 2.5 by 3.5, okay? So I'll show you, got one here, okay? So 2.5 by 3.5, okay? Then for the large pocket piece, you want it to be 3 by 3.5. So it's a 1/2 inch bigger. That's it. Because the way we're going to sew it's going to make this little second color on here. Okay? So it's all you need, real simple. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to iron my pocket, my egg shape onto here. Now the nice thing is freezer paper, I can kind of see through it, so I can kind of plan where I'm going to put this shape out on here. so that I get the most use out of all the fun things on this fabric. So I'm just gonna iron this on. Just got my iron heated up. I'm gonna hold it up and show you in just a second. So I'm just ironing to the front of the fabric. It's not gonna leave any residue or anything else. I use freezer paper all the time in projects. Okay, so there's my piece of freezer paper. I wrote on it with pencil, so that way my measurements aren't going away. You can see those there. So you have all the measurements. Okay, then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a pair of scissors and I'm gonna cut around my egg shape. And I'm not gonna cut exactly right on my egg shape. I'm gonna cut just a smidge bigger. Okay, I mean, we're talking just a smidge. I'm like 1/8 of an inch bigger all the way around on my egg. Because I don't want my egg pattern piece to get smaller and smaller and smaller all, you know, while I'm making these little projects. I want my egg shape to kind of stay the same because I fitted it so that it could hold gift cards and money, different things inside of it. Okay, so there's, oops, my egg got a little unegged. Unegged, there's my word. All right. All right, there we go. So there's my egg shape. And then this just peels right off and I can use it again. Okay, freezer paper, amazing. So you can see on here, I got airplanes and 2 books. Now most of the airplanes are gonna be covered up, but you should be able to see at least one of them. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 2 of my pieces of fabric. So my yellow piece is my one I wanna see the most of. So the smallest piece, the smallest size, the 2.5 by 3.5 is what you wanna see the most of. Okay, I know that's kind of backwards thinking, but whatever you wanna see the most of is what you cut the smallest, and whatever you want to just be the trim on the top of your egg is what you're gonna cut the biggest. Okay, so pretty to pretty, we're gonna place these 2 pieces right here. I'm gonna have my machine just set at my default 1/4 inch stitch, nothing fancy here. Just keeping it easy. Okay, and I'm gonna put them pretty to pretty, and you'll see that that one piece is a 1/2 inch longer, and that's okay. We're sewing along the 3.5 inch side, okay? So we're just gonna sew down this. I am gonna put a leader in the machine when I get done, because the next step, if I don't have something in there, the machine will eat it. When I was working on my little prototype, of course it ate it, so. All right, so after I get that done, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm going to press it toward the larger piece of fabric. Okay, so that's my polka dots, which is my trim fabric. Toward the larger piece of fabric. Then all I'm going to do is fold it down over that seam, and the bottom will almost come to the edge. It just depends on how much seam allowance you have. If you have a healthy 1/4 inch or a scant one, this one's pretty healthy, so it doesn't quite come down because, you know, it has to allow for that fold, which adds a little bit to the seam. So then after I fold it over, I'm just going to give it a quick little press here. And it's okay that that doesn't totally come down on the other side. It's fine. Okay. So pull this up so you can see it. Okay, so you see how that gives that little lip edge there? There's the back. All right. So now I'm going to put this on my egg, and I'm just going to make sure that bottom edge of the yellow is right there at the bottom of my egg. I'm not going to stress over this too much, okay, because like I said, even though my thing doesn't totally touch down there, it's okay. It's going to come out in the end, okay? So there's my little piece. I'm going to put 1 pin in this, just one, right here in the center, all right? Now I'm going to do all the rest of my, oh, I missed a step. Okay, take our pocket back off. I forgot. I want to sew this little trim down. You don't have to, but I think aesthetically it just looks a little more finished. You do not have to do this step, but it will make it look a little nicer. So I'm just going to lay my machine, and I've got the inside edge of my presser foot on the left-hand side here. You see that right there? So I have it lined up right there. Okay, so that's sewn now. So that is sewn. I don't need to put a leader on this back side. Okay, like I said, you don't have to do that, but I just think it looks nicer if you take that moment to do that little stitch across there, okay? All right, so now let's try that again. Now we're gonna line that up on here, just like so. Okay, I wanna have my little airplane sticking out so I can readjust my little thing here just a smidge. Put a single pin in it, right in the center, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it over to the back side and I'm gonna sew from the back side. I'm gonna start at the bottom. I'm just gonna do a 1/4 inch all the way around my egg. I have my machine set to stop with the needle down. All right, so here we go. So I'm just following the edge of the egg all the way around. Sewing, looking through a camera lens like this is different. I have it set to stop the needle down. So if I need to move it around a little bit, I can. Okay, all the way around till I get back to where I started. I can hit the knot button, it'll tie a knot and stop, or I could just overstitch just a smidge. Okay? All right, so now we've sewn all the way around our egg. We'll go ahead and trim these little threads off now. Take our pin out, flip it back over to the wrong side, and I'm going to grab my pinking shears and trim from the wrong side because I can easily follow the edge of my egg from the wrong side. I'm just going to go all the way around my egg with my pinking shears. If you don't have pinking shears, some of you may have that rotary cutter blade that is the pinked edge. I will show you. One of these, you could go around the edge of that, of your egg with this as well. That would be an option. If you're previous customers of Nan's Quilt Cottage, you know we were always telling you to get some pinking shears because we use them all the time. There's a lot of things you can use them on. And so I've always got my pair of pinking shears here so that I can use them for different projects. Okay. And there we have our cute little egg. So we can slide some money into it, or we can slide a gift card into it, or both. Whatever you want to do. It is your project. I hope you loved these little egg holders. I hope you loved them and had fun making them with me. Be sure to share pictures and tag us. Follow us on all our different platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon and YouTube. All those places we have different content, so be sure to check them all out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a scrap happy day.